First live, first live, first live. Let's see what happens. Let's see who comes on here. I even forgot. I forgot that you could actually go live on YouTube, right? Let's see who's online. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know, the state of the continent, the state of whatever country it is you're in Africa. You know, Zambia, Kenya, Nigeria. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Why our leaders are so bad, so bad. I hate to disrespect them like that, but you know, it's not even disrespect. It's just the truth, right? Keep making bad decision after bad decision. You know, I just woke up to news that you know the Zambian government has suspended the 15% tax on the export of gemstones or precious stones from Zambia, right? At a time when the country, you know, when things are hard in the country, you know, people are complaining about the hardships, the cost of living, cost of goods and services, everything. You know, wages still remain low, but yet multi-billion dollar corporations keep getting tax breaks just because they said it's what's best for the, you know, for the mineral sector of that particular country of which is exporting minerals to them. Like how crazy is that, right? That's what happens when I guess that's what happens when you're too dependent on these corporations or other countries, you know, foreign aid, you know, whatever they tell you goes, because we fear that if they cut us off, we won't be able to survive. Meanwhile, they need our minerals. They need our gemstones. We have the best emeralds in Zambia, right? I mean, in the world, alongside Colombia. I say, but we have our emeralds are better than Colombia. You know, our emeralds are better than Colombia anywhere in the world. But we are afraid to tax these um these corporations that are exporting these minerals out of our countries because we fear that they'll cut us off. If they cut us off, that's that's even good. It's more for us, right? We could finish our own products and export them at much higher prices instead of just exporting raw materials. But I don't know. I don't know how these governments think, and not just Zambia. It's everywhere. But recently, I heard in Malawi they suspended or they banned the export of precious stones. Then today, you hear Zambia. You know, our neighbor Malawi bans the export of precious stones, you know, because they want to figure it out. They want to get it together. They want to get the best prices that they can. Then you hear today that Zambia suspends the tax on the exports of the same precious stones, right? And that's why that whole one Africa thing, it's failed because one country or one government will do this, will ban one government will ban the export or will tax these corporations, but the next country will do the opposite. So these multinational corporations will just go to the other country and do business with a president that's or a government that's more favorable to them. And we have 54 different countries. Imagine trying to all have the same agenda, right? It can't happen. It can't happen. Everybody is looking out for themselves, you know, and as youth, we need to learn a lesson. We keep voting for these old guys that know nothing, that are just thinking about their, their legacies, their families, sending their kids to the best schools abroad, to the UK, the US. They're not thinking about the ghetto child or the people in the villages. They're just them. They're good. They're good. The whole family tree. Everybody's connected. They've got family businesses. They've got family farms. Wow, the average person in pretty much every African country is starving, right? But yet we claim to be the richest continent in terms of natural resources, but we don't even know what to do with them. We keep exporting raw materials only to import finished goods, finished products at 10 times the price when we could just manufacture and then export. So once you manufacture, we would obviously be able to buy a lot of these goods and products at cheaper prices because they're local, you know, and we could be able to trade with our neighbors. But what we don't have, we can get from them. What they don't have, we could give them. We could trade amongst ourselves. 54 countries. The EU trades amongst themselves, you know. These Western countries trade amongst themselves. And it's always like, mutually beneficial agreements, as opposed to the one where, like, look at a country like Nigeria. They're fighting, they're trying to frustrate Dangote today, right? But Nigeria used to produce, or has been known to produce, the highest quality of crude oil, or one of the highest quality of crude oil, right? They export it only to import the lowest grade of petroleum or fuel or other related products. Like, that's crazy. How can you produce high quality crude only to export it and then import the lowest grade of fuel? Now Dangote has built the largest refinery, and they're still trying to make it hard. They're saying, oh, they don't want him to become a monopoly. So what if he becomes a monopoly? He's doing it for his country, right? He's doing it for his country, and he's doing it for Africa at large. Dangote has pretty much started the industrial revolution with cement. He's got, I think, sugar factories now. Oil, petroleum, refinery. On top of other things, I think he's got like a tomato factory or sugar, something like that. But Dangote is definitely an industrialist, right? And we could replicate what he has done in many other parts of the continent, or just allow Dangote to come and set up shop. And I know we have Dangote cement in Zambia and many other parts of the continent, and that's what we need. But unfortunately, our leaders, yeah, I see you, bro. I see you. USA citizen, but Africa is definitely top tier of a country. Yeah, of a continent. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Brian, what's up? What's good? And yeah, it's crazy. Countries like the USA, bro, have already developed, right? There's only so much development that could go on out here, especially in terms of infrastructure. Right now the big thing is AI, right? It's technology and AI. There's a big race, AI race between the USA, China, the Chat GPTs. China just came out with a cheaper model, DeepSeek. So yeah. Meanwhile, in Africa, bro, we barely have reliable electricity. No, not even barely. We don't have reliable electricity. Yeah, tech is the future, and you can't do tech, any form of tech, without reliable energy, right? Like, a big thing now is like crypto mining, Bitcoin mining, right? You need like high-powered computers that run 24/7, and they consume a lot of energy. But it can be very beneficial. Data mining, even the whole AI thing. We probably won't even be able to experience AI in Africa for a very long time. By the time we get to a point where we could participate in this new sector, the Western world would have moved to something new and different. That's how behind we are, because if you can't even have reliable electricity at your house, How are you going to power all these high-powered, computers or machines that require a lot of energy, reliable energy? So yeah, as far as tech, I keep saying, like, our leaders need to invest heavily in technology. Just as much as we think about agriculture, two things: agriculture, of course, and technology. But even with agriculture today, if you look at it, right, it's tech driven now. If you don't have technology in your agriculture operation, you're lacking behind. People are using drones now to to drop fertilizer, or to spray pesticides over hectares and hectares, in farmland. Whereas in Africa, we still doing it by hand, right? We still behind, bro. Now the big thing is EVs, the electric vehicles. What am I talking about? But yeah, it's crazy. Yo, thanks for tuning in, everybody that tuned in so far. Taurus, 9 millimeter. That's probably a gun model, right? Taurus 9 millimeter. Yeah, that sounds like a pistol. But yeah, since you're in the USA, I understand, right? But yeah, now EVs are a big thing, right? And guess where the materials or the minerals that are essential to making EVs, the EV batteries, come from? Majority of them come from Africa, bro. There's a scramble for the lithium and the cobalt and whatever else is used for EVs and the batteries. There's a scramble. Like, all these multinational corporations are in Africa right now, securing huge pieces of land where they have discovered these minerals, so that they can mine them and export them back to their countries, and then make the batteries. One second. Make the batteries, and make the EVs, and then export them back to us, and we import them at higher prices. So it's crazy. Instead, what our leaders should be doing right now is like, okay, you guys are in the EV business, right? You want to do electric vehicles and batteries. We have the lithium, we have the cobalt, we have the coltan, we have whatever mineral it is that's essential. You guys come and set up a factory and manufacture from here, or at least manufacture some from here, and then you can go and do what you want to do back in your home countries. But at least manufacturing should be done in the country of which the minerals are sourced from. It only makes sense, right? If the minerals are sourced from Congo, manufacture in Congo. It doesn't have to be everything. You could at least manufacture half of your EVs in Congo or Zambia or Zimbabwe, and then you could take the rest and go do whatever you want to do in the West. But we need manufacturing to start happening in our countries. That's the only way Africa can rise above this poverty, right? We need to manufacture our own stuff and reduce the number of goods that we import, because that's pretty much how China took themselves out of poverty, right? Manufacturing. Let's see if we could get some more people in there. So yeah, China is almost number one today, depending on who you talk to. China is number one, but it's either China or America. And China has done that because they figured out how to be self-sufficient. They stopped relying on the West. Yes, China is heavily involved in Africa, but that's our fault. They come to Africa, and we willingly give up our natural resources. So you can't blame them, and they've done the most. China has transformed their economy, their infrastructure over a short period of time. Like, in the past 20-25 years, China has really transformed. They've done like a complete 360. There was once a time, You know, when we were getting our independence, most of us in African countries, we were at the same level with China. A lot of African countries were at the same level as China back in the day. But today, you know, countries like Singapore, they were poorer than African countries. But today, we're looking up to them. You know, we can't even compete. We get everything from China. We have almost the same population as China. Majority of our population is youth. You know, so right there is obviously cheaper labor. Not to say that we need to exploit our own people, but that's pretty much how China did it. You know, cheaper labor, youthful, energetic, fresh ideas. But we're not taking advantage of our position. So yeah, we'll keep being poor if we don't make a change on the continent. Let's see who's online. Somebody come up. Yeah, say something in the chat. Let me know that you're there. So yeah, like I was saying, majority of the African population is youth, and we are not taking advantage of the fact that we are youthful, energetic. We got the ideas, and we're just letting it all go to waste. And that's why a lot of our youth are fleeing. That's why a lot of our youth look at countries like America, China, Europe, and that's where all our youth want to go. We all want to leave the continent because we're not making the most of our youthfulness. We're not making the most of, the fact that we could have even cheaper labor than a lot of these other places. So we could definitely have, manufacture our own stuff. We can set up factories. But shout out to this guy from Zambia. I forgot his name, right? And that's crazy because he's from my country. But he's setting up. It's actually launching next month. The largest stove assembly factory, something like that. Yeah, the largest stove manufacturing plant on the continent. So shout out to him. He's from Zambia. He's got the investment, and that's what we need to see. A few thousand jobs are going to be created from this business venture. He's going to be a millionaire, and it'll also help in terms of the GDP of the country, right? So yeah, he'll be producing stainless steel stoves, both gas and electric, from the 1-plate cookers to the 2-plate to the 4-plate. And this will be happening in Zambia, I think somewhere on the central province. The big operation, right? So this is what we need to see. We need to start assembling our own vehicles. And recently, I think a few days ago, the Zimbabwean dude, Chikumbuso, right? He launched his products, the self-powered vehicle, the self-powered TV, the vehicle that could generate, power your whole house, act as a generator, and many other innovations this brilliant Zimbabwean African mind has invented. And all you see and hear about is a lot of people calling it a scam, instead of us supporting and backing our own, make him the next billionaire. Who knows, when he becomes a billionaire, he could actually invent more stuff. He can innovate more. He can do more that will benefit not only Zimbabwe but the whole country at large. He doesn't even have to export his products to Europe or anywhere outside Africa, because obviously they won't even mess with it because he's competition, right? But we as Africans, we can start to buy African products. We can start to buy African produced vehicles, African produced motorcycles, African TVs, radios. He's manufacturing all of that, right? And we can start putting tariffs on all these foreign companies that are, foreign vehicles. That will encourage the African to buy an African product, right? But the only problem is that our leaders, most of them are in it for the money. So many incentives, they get kickbacks, they get They get villas on the, in Europe. They get Swiss bank accounts. They get to put their money in offshore accounts while the citizens are suffering. So yeah, go check out Chikumbusa from Zimbabwe. He's doing amazing work. I hear they were trying to get a patent from America or something and they were denied. I'm like, dude, you don't even have to get a patent from outside of Africa. Just patent it in Zimbabwe or anywhere in Africa and we'll support. You don't have to, we'll support. You just, all you have to do is just export to neighboring African countries. And just right there, we have enough purchasing power to make him a billionaire, right? We also need to start creating our own billionaires. People like Elon Musk and all these guys, all they have is ideas and they sell them and convince people, and the next thing you know, they're billionaires. But when an African comes up with an idea, we want to call it a scam. We want to say, oh, that's impossible. Oh, that defies the laws of physics, whatever people like to say. But hey, if we don't push our own people, who will? And that's why we're not respected on the world stage. We're only going to get respect from the in the global community if we respect ourselves. It's time for us to start pushing our own entrepreneurs. Back them, invest in their businesses. We need a system where we as citizens can easily invest in some of these businesses or some of these innovations. Since our governments do not want to invest in our geniuses, we as the people, we ready to do it. Especially us in the diaspora, bro. I mean, we've been sending money back for a long time. Not just I'm not even talking about me, like just the whole diaspora in general. We send billions of dollars back. You know, we're looking for we're always looking for ways to invest our money. We're always looking for ways to grow our money, but like out here, being here in America, I can't even invest in the stock market in Zambia. It's crazy, and I wish I would be able to. From here where I am, if I could invest in the stock market in Zambia from the United States without me having to come back home, imagine how much money would be able to flow into the economy. So many of us are looking for opportunities to, invest our money, because keeping our money out here, we end up spending it on bills and just other things, useless things, right? But if that money can flow into the economy through the stock market, through bonds and other things, as Africans, we're not even able to invest in, like gold, emeralds, but here in America, I could go to the goldsmith and buy a bar of gold and keep it as an investment or as a hedge to inflation, right? But the countries where the gold comes from, it's illegal to even own gold. Like, that's crazy to me, bro. Like, I can't buy gold. Let's say I have $100,000 and I want to preserve my wealth and I want to buy gold. They won't let me. The government won't let me buy gold. So plenty of things have to change on the continent. Plenty of things. So many things have to change. Let's see. Zero right now. But yeah, shout out to everybody that tuned in. Taurus, Brian. Somebody asked me if I know Jesus Christ. That's the problem with, if you're African, bro or sis, you lost. That's all I can say to you. You're asking me about Jesus Christ. Of course, I'm African. I know about Jesus Christ. He was imposed on each and every one of us growing up, right? How can you ask me if I know Jesus Christ? That's the problem with you guys, with us Africans. That's all we think about. Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. But we're broke. We're poor. We don't even know how to make silver or gold coins. Yet we have gold and silver in our countries. Fucking stupid. But I bet you know everything about Jesus Christ, right? Crazy. Jesus Christ is not gonna save you, bro. I'm sorry. What's going to save the African is hard work, innovation, technology, manufacturing, producing our own stuff. All of that Jesus Christ talk, it's not going to take us anywhere. We've been the most prayerful, the most religious. Look at where we are today, bro. Nowhere. You need to stop voting with your stomach, and vote with your head. Just because they pass out a few bags of Millie Meal, a few trays of eggs during campaign time, then you vote for the guy or the woman or whoever it is. What about when that food runs out? You won't see them. You won't see them. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. As a people, as a continent, we need to wake up. You won't hear the Chinese talking about Jesus Christ or Allah or whatever it is that we so obsessed with on the continent. But look at them, bro. We literally can't function without China. Because they manufacture almost everything that we need. All the equipment that we use for construction, building blocks, everything comes from China, bro. But you don't hear the Chinese talking about Jesus Christ every day, praying every day. Like, you can pray at your house, bro. But when it's time to get to work, it's time to get to work. Like, no, there's no miracles that are gonna happen, bro. God, the miracle has already been given to us. God has given us everything we need to survive, bro. It's beneath our soils. It's in nature. Medicine, everything is out there, bro. So God in heaven is just looking at us like, you guys are still praying. I've given you everything you need to survive and thrive, but you guys are still waiting on a miracle. I bet you God is like always surprised at us Africans, man. We have everything, but yet we have nothing. And if we're not careful, God is going to take it away. And he should. If we don't do anything, if we keep giving it away anyway, you might as well just take it away and give it out to somebody else that's going to make the most of it. Like the Chinese, like the Americans, like the Europeans. All right? It's crazy. It's really crazy, bro. Africa, 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 Africa. Come on, 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 come on. 28 minutes, 28 minutes. 28 minutes. Yeah. The African dilemma. Maybe one day we'll figure it out. Maybe one day. But like I said, technology, manufacturing, agriculture, of course, because we have to eat. We have the most arable land in the world. That's still yet to be cultivated, right? So there's no way we should be experiencing hunger in our country. I know we have droughts and all of that, but we can prepare for that. There's so many ways to prepare for such situations. You know, 2025, there's no way Africans should be going hungry. Everybody should be growing something in their backyard. And the nation at large should have land where they grow enough to sustain the population. We have more than enough land. But yet we're selling off this land to the Chinese, to other nations to come and do whatever it is they're doing to mine on, where we could be doing it ourselves. We could be growing our own food and securing our food security, right? never know. Yep. That's just how it is, right? That's the only way. That's the only way we can develop as a continent. We need to put ourselves first, or we continue to be last. Put ourselves first, continue to be last, continue to be poor, continue to flee our own countries because the systems don't work, and we'll go to other countries where we only contribute to their success instead of doing it in our own countries. We want to do it in our own countries, but we need systems that work. We need leaders that can be held accountable. If our leaders can't be held accountable, it'll never work, And going forward, it's high time we stop electing old ass people. We can consult from them, for advice and guidance. I'm not saying they don't have a place in society, but none of them understand the technology shift that's happening right now. If any of them do, it's because they have a young person alongside them, right? The future belongs to the youth. We understand what's happening right now, technology, crypto, data mining, crypto mining, digital currencies, AI. All these old guys in power, they don't get it. They're still thinking about shit that happened 50 years ago when they were coming up. But times have changed. Times have changed. It's time for the youth, to take positions of power. It's time for the youth to influence the direction in which the continent is going to go. Because we know, as a young person, I can see where the world is going. And I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm involved in digital currencies, crypto. I'm into AI, especially crypto, right? But you look at our countries, crypto is not even, there's no regulation, no laws, nothing about crypto. If they find you dealing in crypto or accepting crypto, you probably get arrested. That's how behind we are. Meanwhile, in America, crypto is a new thing. The Western world is embracing crypto, but in Africa, it's still frowned upon. It's still illegal in a lot of places. Like, you go to jail for dealing in crypto. I know a lot of people were scammed, right? But that's why you need regulation. You need laws. Our leaders need to start understanding and educate themselves on this new technology because it's only here to stay. It's not going anywhere, bro. But yeah, it is what it is. I'll go for 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes, sitting out here, on the go, trying to make some money. Hopefully I can turn that money and be able to invest it back home, which I always do. But yeah, we definitely need to see a change. We definitely need to see a change. We need to start embracing technology. We need it. If we're going to survive, we need to embrace all the changes that are coming. go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I see somebody come on this one, I'll talk. Yeah. Africa, 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 Africa. We know what we need to do. We know what we need to do. We just have to do it. Between us and the diaspora and, our brothers and sisters on the continent, especially us young people, the future is ours and we need to start being more active, find a way to get in positions of power or get close to the people in power and tell them how it is. Because a lot of them don't get it. They don't get it. But we do. We can see. We are the ones that are on the ground. They're so high up in their mansions or in parliament buildings, government buildings, and private jets, in embassies. They've lost touch. They don't know what's going on the ground. But we are the ones that know what time it is, bro. We know. We the youth. We're in tune. We know what time it is. We're the only ones that could, influence the changes that we would like to see.